When you walk around this place and there's no kids here, it's just a bunch of buildings. You know, and when the kids come, it takes on a spirit all its own. You know, we do a motorcycle ride every year across country, the Cow Petty Charity Ride across America. When Adam got old enough to go and Austin got old enough and Montgomery Lee today, then they ride with us. One year we just went through Florida and we ended up in Boggy Creek.
And when he saw that week by week these kids came with the same disorders, the same chronic illnesses, he had the vision of building a place like this.
Why are we going to different children's hospitals when we can bring children to a place? And we started looking for land, and things happen. You get back into the race season and, you know, that goes to a back burner because you focus on what you're doing, and then his accident happened. We looked at it and we said, hey, why don't we just go by what Adam said? Why don't we just build a camp? And we sat down and we started to build a camp. Dale Jarrett was the Sportsman of the Year, and he donated $50,000. Bobby Labonte donated. They were the first two drivers ever to step in and do anything. And it just kind of snowballed from there. Just because you drive a race car and you ride around in circles, that doesn't define who you are. That's just what you do.
I've heard Kurt Busch talk about it, I've heard Tony talk about it, and it was something that they didn't feel obligated to do. They felt like they needed to do it.
You know, being able to donate to the camp and be able to see what they've done to grow the camp over the years is, you know, it's a lot of work, a lot of time, and a lot of dedication on their part, and taking a tragedy in their life that I don't know that I know very many people that could be as strong as they've been through it and take it and turn it into such a positive. Adam would be very, very proud of that.
It's an honor for myself to be invited to be a part of all that, and every driver, Harry Gant, myself, and you know, you can name every driver in Cup has been on that ride to help the Petties.
For me, the feeling is more humbled that so many people did something to help somebody, and in that name they did it for Adam. So I'm humbled that so many people thought so much of our family and so much of him that they would be a part of this.
And it's just humbling to us as a family to be able to do something so much bigger than just turn left and drive around in circles.
The Petty family is a tremendous amount of love and want to give back to something bigger than themselves.
To think that one smile and one person has brought so much more, it's a heart-healing thing for me. And it's when I get to come down here and I get to see them ride horses, when I get to see them zip line, it heals my heart every single time I see one more kid leave this place with a smile on their face, to know that my brother had something to do with that.
We lost a child, we lost Adam, and we lost his smile, but in the interim we've gained 15,000 children that have that Adam Petty smile and have that Adam Petty spirit and have that kid in them. And that's what camp does. It brings that out, and Adam's a part of that.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome here to the IMRC Cup Series Season 8 here, the Pure Life 100, live here from Michigan International Raceway. This evening, race 15 of 16 on the season. It is the final race before we head to the finale at Homestead. Good evening, friends. Welcome to the race. My name is Carlos Zimmerman. Alongside me, my broadcast partner, Jessica Shelton, here this evening. This is going to be a very, very crucial race tonight for just about everybody but two drivers. The two drivers that have already locked themselves into the title race at Homestead, Tyler Allen, Ricky Johnson, they're good to go. Everybody else is going to be chomping at the bit, Jess, for a chance to run for a spot at Homestead for the championship.
Yeah, that's right. We've only got about a couple of other drivers. Dylan Schwallenberg, unfortunately, from what I can tell, has not shown up unless he's in here and I can't see him yet. But at this moment, Dylan Poteet, Shane Sides, Roger Ray, Natan, Dejon Weeks, Will Goss, Cody Lamas, they're all trying to get locked in to get those final two positions, if not a win, to get locked in on points for next week's race.
As these guys are still going through driver's meet again, just, always clowning around here on the pit lane here. Just a lot of guys that are just going to be hungry for major wins tonight. Yeah, a few drivers also out there, that have come over from the lights. They're in this race tonight. One of them being right there, Charles Belding in the 28 Krispy Kreme machine. He's hoping to have a good run tonight. Shows good speed as always, as we're about ready to head to the race. 69 laps is the name of the game here tonight at the Michigan International Raceway. Austin Ogo was the one that was the fastest in qualifying. He will be on the pole for this one. The second place driver has not quite loaded in just yet, as that'll be the 18 of Tyler Mallon.
I do want to mention that with this race itself, you got to remember the lights race. They use the DMR mod, which is the old Xfinity mod, and with that being said, the Cup cars have more speed. They're going to be a little bit more different handling in the corners. It's going to be pretty much nearly a fun race, I believe. I believe it's going to be close to one of those big Auto Club, super speedway wannabe type races, I think. I don't say that there's going to be flat out. They're probably going to have to lift in the corners, but it should be really great to watch them go 3-4 wide.
Yeah, these guys are going to be really, really chomping at the bit tonight to have good runs, as the engines have fired, and we'll get ready to go for 69 laps of action around Michigan. The remainder of the top 10 on the lineup: Dylan Poteet lines up third, Robbie Gilvin fourth, fifth Shane Size, sixth Cody Lamas, seventh Roger Ray, eighth Nathan Amoito, ninth Michael Norman, and then in 10th place Henry Nova. You see Ricky Johnson there; he'll start 11th. He's already locked in. And the other man that's locked in is on the outside of the front row. That is Tyler Mallon. He rolls off second. They're all ready to go. We're ready to go for the 69 laps of action tonight. Second to last race of the season here in Season 8, the Pure Life 100. About ready to get underway. Pace car will make the hard left-hand turn into the pit lane, and you'll get ready for the race today, as here we go. Ogo's going to lead them down. They are still waiting to go, and there it is, green flag in the air, and Ogo and Mallon dead even there on the start.
And to go back on one of my statements earlier, I wanted to say that from what I can tell, Dylan Schwallenberg is here. I thought that someone was subbing for him, so I do apologize for that. As they go back in turn 2. And Ogo seems to be pulling ahead a little bit over Tyler Mallon to be able to control the lead here.
Ogo moves up to the outside line here. We were talking about prior to going live tonight that inside line is not really going to be big tonight, as Poteet's going to try to make a move here. Doesn't make the move as Ogo slams the door on the 4. That bottom line is not really going to be a good place tonight, as a few cars are getting out of shape there. That's Robbie Gilvin that found himself in the wall there. He'll fall further back. Ogo, though, will lead lap 1, and everybody else looks to keep it clean as they head down into turn 1.
Yeah, they're spanning out trying to make their moves now, but the fact is, there's no points for leading laps, or most laps here. It's an all-out brawl and trying to get to the front and get in good position, so when pit stops come around, you can get in and get out with the big pack near the front.
Dylan Poteet has shuffled into second. Tyler Mallon has slid back to the third position there in his number 18 Interstate Batteries Toyota. They're fanning out 2-3 wide just behind him. The 22 is Shane Sides on the outside just behind them, slamming the door on Cody Lamas. That was the 24 Dylan Schwallenberg there in the Target Chevy, as he now moves up further up in the field. He's now up to about the 5th position, battling Amoito for that spot right now, as he may also try to get the 4th spot away from Shane Sides. A good pack of cars here from about 4th on back. Meanwhile, Jess, the front 3 have started to form a breakaway.
And there was one that barely got the wall up here. I don't know who it was off the back, but they're really going hard at it, trying to get every little bit of position they can at this moment. There is a warper back here. I don't know who that is. I think it might be Cole Baker, warping a little bit slightly. Yeah, they're trying to get single file, but because they keep checking up so much, it's just causing more people to pass them. They're battling, trying to get in the correct position, but it seems like they're trying to calm it down just a little bit now.
Battle for the lead, and now it has changed hands. Dylan Poteet moves himself up into the 1st position. You know, if he wins, he's in tonight, and then the final spot for Homestead would be determined by points. So just about so he's going to be really fighting hard tonight to pick up a win and ensure his place at Homestead and not have to worry about having to fight it in on points. The points battle does go as such. Shane Sides is 11 points back of Dylan Poteet. Roger Ray about 6 points back of Shane. So Roger 6 points out of the spot at Homestead right now. And then for guys like Nathan Amoito, Dejan Weeks, Will Goss, I don't believe Goss even made the show tonight, and then Cody Lamas, they are must-win situations.
I actually not sure, but I think Dylan Schwallenberg is in a must-win situation as well.
Yes, I forgot to mention that Schwallenberg, he's must-win as well for that final or for one of those final 2 spots. So that's a lot to think about going into tonight. Lap 6 on the board right now. Dylan Poteet still maintaining the lead here. Austin Ogo second, Tyler Mallon third with Shane Sides and Dylan Schwallenberg 4th and 5th right now. About 3 of the guys up here that are looking for a win to lock themselves in the Homestead. They're all up here right now. All they got to do here also is Roger Ray. All they got to do is really keep their nose clean, and they could be cruising to a spot in the Homestead tonight, pending on how it all falls out.
Yeah, they're really, really close racing here. I was watching Cody getting by a couple of cars, and then watching Schwallenberg. They're like right there nose to tail with this group here and there. I'm just amazed that they're able to hold it as well as they have so far with all this speed. They're going about 212 on the front stretch, going near about 200 and 208 on the back stretch right now. So with all this speed, this big suck up, it looks like there's a big suck up even though this isn't even CTS physics. So, and fuel mileage, the window should be about, I would say about 20 laps or so. So we should be seeing them think about coming in a pit for fuel probably in the next 12 laps.
Yeah, so pit stops are definitely going to be a factor tonight. Yeah, 69 laps, so these guys, they're not going to go clean and green to the finish in terms of pitting. But for the time being, you see Roger Ray there running in 7th as the front few have been able to settle out close to single file. I say that, and Schwallenberg now makes a move on Lamas to the inside here, down into turn number 4. But Lamas shuts the door there. Mallon reacts just ahead of them as he's trying to make the pass around Shane Sides as Mallon has fallen all the way back to 4th. Of course, Mallon doesn't have much to race for. He's locked in to Homestead, so he's just looking to maybe get a good run tonight. But he could also play spoiler to anybody else who may be trying to get into the championship race next week.
That is true. But I'm looking at the second pack back here of Alvarez, Blake Warren, Teixeira, Michael Norman's back here along with Dejan Weeks, and Rick Johnson's way back here currently in 3rd, and he crossed the line last time in 13th. This little second group back here, I mean, I just saw Belding pretty much pull away from this group, and I'm wondering if Rick Johnson and them are trying to save a little bit for the long term, because so far it's been going clean and green.
And I think in the case of Rick Johnson, too, he may just want to stay out of trouble and use whatever momentum he can going into Homestead to pick up a victory and win the championship. He's currently battling back here right on the back bumper of the 10 of Dejan Weeks, another one of those guys that is probably in a must-win situation tonight. As further back here, Michael Norman, he's slopping back now in this group. There in his number 21 Hot Wheels Ford Mustang. There's Blake Warren, Felipe Teixeira, and then David Alvarez brings
Shane Sides up at the front, going for the lead on Dylan Poteet.
There he is, Shane Sides there in the PPG Ford. He's trying to get to the inside of the 17 of Dylan Poteet, but Poteet maintains the lead for the time being. Poteet and Sides, both guys needing a win to get into the championship next week. Austin Ogo now has settled into the 3rd spot. Battles on for 4th between Tyler Mallon and Dylan Schwallenberg. Mallon should get the run off the corner he needs, but there seems to be a lot of he seems to, I think the tire fall off is starting to happen on the 18 at this point, because he just is periodically slipping through the field here, Jess.
I don't know what's going on. Maybe he's just, in my opinion, I think it's too early for like people like him to worry about, oh, well, let's go out there and dominate. He's probably just riding along right now trying to figure out what to do, trying to play with his fuel strategy just a little bit and see what we can do later on, because right now 12 laps coming on 13 laps, it's a nice green flag run at the moment. So he's probably trying to set himself up for the end of this race.
Austin Ogo is now starting to slide through the field here as you see him slipping further back. Sides might be making a move for the lead here on Poteet. That is very close quarter racing as Mallin's worked his way back to third. Here comes Shane back to the inside of the Poteet machine. Shane might have the run off the corner that he needs, and he's definitely going to get because the 17 really washed up the racetrack there, and he's really going to pay the price and fall far back as maybe even 6th or even 7th as the 20 comes into the picture. Henry Nova trying to make his name up here at the front, but now Shane Sides the moves up to the lead as we're about a 1/6 of the way through this one.
Yeah, they're getting a little bit squirrely back here around the 11th and 10th place, trying to battle for position. I've been watching Charles Belding back here in the Krispy Kreme machine and the number 28 back here, and he's went from the back of the pack on that second group. He's caught to this pack. He's passed Cole Baker, and he's about to get ready to try to make a move on the 2 in front of him, which happens to be Robbie Gilvin and Roger Ray.
Charles Belding, one of our drivers from the IMRC Lights, he's making a run here tonight in the Cup Series. He unfortunately didn't make the championship race for the Light Series, but he's just out here trying to log laps, get the practice in that he needs. Currently running for the lead position. Battle for the lead up at the front. Shane Sides and Tyler Mallon are going at it now as Mallon's on the outside with Schwallenberg trying to figure out which line to go with. Contact down the back, and now the lead is correct. Shane Sides around and Dylan Schwallenberg. 2 guys battling for the championship. More cars spinning through the grass. Charles Belding, we just mentioned. Robbie Gilvin involved.
Cody got tapped a little bit as well. I'm looking at the championship contenders. Mallon got spun out pretty badly there. But the thing is, with Mallon, he doesn't really have to worry about trying to do anything. But everyone else, like you said Shane got involved, Dejan, Cody got a little bit of it. I don't know how much damage, but I'm hoping that they don't have significant damage here off of that.
Looking at the 22s, you saw David Alvarez there. He's got a big bump on the front end of that machine. I'm looking at Shane. He didn't really hit much, as we'll go ahead and take a look back at a replay here of what exactly went down. You saw it there on your screen. Both him and Tyler Mallon just locked it up on the back straightaway, and they started bouncing off each other, and it was just on from there.
I'm watching to see if they're going to come down pit road up here. From what we gather, Shane Sides in the 22 is EOL after the incident.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say that was more his fault. If anything, he just washed up. I don't know if it was. I would have considered that a racing deal as you see Dejan pump in here and bump into Shane here. They just kind of locked it up there on the exit of 2, and then the 22 washed up the track, but he claimed it, and he'll be sent back to the end of the longest line. So a tough break for Shane Sides, a guy that came into tonight's race in a transfer spot, 4th, if he were to get in on points, and now Roger Ray is a guy that might be chomping at the bit here to maybe take that spot away with Shane falling back through the field.
And with everyone coming into pit road, getting a little bit of repairs done on this next restart after a few hours, we'll see how bad the damage is on some of these vehicles that sustained a little bit of contact, if not more so. And what you were saying about coming off turn 2, we've seen them kind of slide up a little bit, got close to the wall, tapping the wall. It seems like it really pushes up, and they're trying not to oversteer to lose control of the back end, come out, them losing complete control of the car. But at the same time, you realize that they're going about 212 before entering turn 1, and then accelerating up to about 205 on the backstretch, going all the way to turn 3. So even like I said earlier, this is not CTS physics, but with it being Cup physics, it looks like there's a massive suck up still.
Yeah, these cars, they're definitely handling it a little bit differently than you would see in maybe possibly some other series. Austin Ogo won the race off of pit lane there, as Henry Nova actually is going to come out in the second spot as these guys are going to start lining it up here to get ready and go green maybe next time by. Ogo was first, Henry Nova second, Eitan Amoito third, Dylan Poteet fourth, Roger Ray fifth, Cole Baker is now up to sixth, Michael Norman to seventh, Ricky Johnson eighth, Dylan Schwellenberg ninth, and then Charles Belding involved in our last caution.
I just heard 1 to green, if I'm not mistaken, come over race control. Unless they're going green now, I don't know. They're lining up. It looks like up here.
I think they're going to have to hold off and go another time before we go back green. Oh, well, maybe these guys, they're lining it up. I'm waiting to see here, watching the telemetry of Ogo. And no, we're going to go, well, he thought about it, and well, no, we're going to go around one more time. Charles Belding, who was involved in this caution, he's actually now going to restart in the 10th position, so that's good for him. He didn't really get a whole lot of damage, maybe just flat spotted the tires and was able to get a good recovery. As for Shane Sides, he is going to be
back
here.
in
Some more
14th.
cars are getting service here. Felipe Teixeira, Tyler Mallon, and David Alvarez to repair further damage. Sides is going to start on the outside.
And he's slowing down a little bit here.
Guys in the pits.
Shane's slowing down a little bit. I think he's waiting for some of the field to get up to him to pass him so he can be in his spot properly, maybe. I'm not sure.
Our pole sitter, Austin Ogo, he is up in the first position. He's going to be able to pace the field here on this restart here. I'm not completely certain if he's going to be a guy that's in the running. If he wins tonight, he gets into the finale. I don't believe he will, as he's not even.
He's not. Austin Ogo is not eligible, unfortunately.
And I'm trying to even look through the two. So it looks like our highest driver that has a chance to get in tonight with a win at the moment would be Amoito there in the 36 there, that Texaco Ford.
Yeah, and he's got a hungry Dylan Poteet right next to him.
So they'll go back green at lap 19 of 69. That'll give us 51 laps to go this evening here at Michigan International Raceway. Austin Ogo will get him back and going with Henry Nova to his outside as they'll slowly bring it down the long front straightaway here at Michigan. And Austin Ogo's on the gas. Green flag back in the air. Lap 19 goes on the board, and he immediately swings to the outside to take away that momentum that the outside line has, and they may almost go 4 wide back there. Cody Lamas was in that mix. Same with Dejan Weeks and Charles Belding as they head down into the back straightaway, and Ogo away by about a car length.
Oh, there's a wreck off of 2.
Dylan Schwellenberg, a car around, I see. Oh, my goodness, there's a lot of cars scrambling. Michael Norman also involved. It looked like it may have been only a 2-car wreck, and it doesn't look like Schwellenberg really took that much.
I think what I think I saw going through the field there was I think someone warped and neck coated into someone else, which caused it, I think. I'm not positive. We can see that on the replay when we go to that in a moment.
So another championship contender hitting an issue there. That's Dylan Schwellenberg. Doesn't appear to have, doesn't have to appear a whole lot of damage. So he looks like
Rick Johnson's back here too. Rick Johnson's back here as well.
So go ahead and take a look at a replay and see what happened. Bring up the caution. Not even halfway back into that green flag run here as Dylan Schwellenberg in the 24, Michael Norman in the 21. As Cole Baker is just ahead of this group here, and that is one thing we should mention. He's been having some internet issues tonight, as we'll go ahead and look at it here. Yeah, everyone just kind of got out of shape there. The 21 and the 93 getting together. We'll give you another look here in just a minute.
Yeah, when I saw them start having smoke coming out, I saw a warp happen, so I'm not really sure, but I would think it might have been the warp that caused the chain effect on it.
I don't know if that was it was a chain effect, so I don't think the warp, no one really neck coated. I think the 21 of Michael Norman reacted to said warp, and then it just went all on from there, and Schwellenberg got a little bit of a tap from him, and that's what sent him around up into the 93 as well. So a 3-car wreck, so no harm, no foul for a lot of these guys, as not a lot of damage occurred there, and that is why we're under and working our second caution of the evening.
David Alvarez, looks like, yeah, they're coming back down to pit. And they're having split strategy, too. All the way from Blake Warren, Belding, Mallon, Baker, Roger Ray, Poteet, Henry Nova, Austin Ogo, they're all staying out.
You see everybody coming down in here about mid-pack on back. Dylan Schwellenberg bringing it in, probably going to have an extended stay here to repair the damage as the tires will start going up on him. Same for the 21 of Michael Norman. as Dejan Wicks will be the lead car here up on pit road, but at the front. Yeah, as you said, Austin Ogo stayed out. He'll be first. Henry Nova second. Dylan Poteet third. Roger Ray fourth. Cole Baker will line up fifth. Tyler Mellon sixth. Charles Belding up in seventh. And now Blake Warren has made his way inside the top 10. He's up to eighth. And the race off of pit road is really tight as Shane Sides is going to have a really good rebound here. He'll come up ninth, and Robbie Gilbin will round out the top 10 when we do get back to green flag racing here. So, Jess, so far it's been a little bit, we had a good long green flag run to open the race, and then the cautions kind of went back to back here. What have you gathered so far, and what do you think the mindset is of these drivers as we're not quite halfway, but in about 10 laps we'll be getting close to it?
Well, I'm beginning to wonder, based on, like, we were getting close to that, pit window, what we didn't get there. Now, when we got to that point of them, with that caution happening, we saw cars up near the front go to the back. Some started coming to the front, back and forth. I'm wondering if there was any tire wear or if that was just fuel conservation and starting to go for it or something. I'm not really sure because I don't know how bad the tire wear is at this track currently.
You got yeah, the tire wear is definitely just it's an X factor.
Going green,
but it's also
I think.
It's also tends to be an issue from time to time as these guys have to manage that. The fuel also here at Michigan has also been a factor. In real life NASCAR, we've had a lot of fun fuel mileage races, so we're going to see if that's going to be the case tonight.
I thought we were going back green, but we're not. I think we're getting one to green here. I think we're going green next time by. But as our Rick Johnson goes to the back. But yeah, I was thinking that we were going to make it to the end of the fuel run, but these drivers just started getting a little bit antsy, I guess, and it happened. And then that restart, though, I was pretty shocked at how they all wanted to get that restart going. I mean, we saw them take each other 3 or 4 wide in the back on that restart. Ogo had a good command on that last time by, and I'm curious to see if Ogo is going to do that same stint again where he's going to get that huge jump over Henry Nova.
He's had a really good car tonight so far. He's kept his nose clean, so I definitely think he's going to be able to get away from Nova here unless Nova gets on equally as good start and maybe even a good push from Roger Ray there in fourth.
Well, you remember Roger Ray's trying to get into the playoffs too, so he's going to be looking to go up to the front as soon as possible along with Poteet there.
No, yeah, you're absolutely right. The front two, I believe Nova's not eligible for playoffs either. So the front two, just trying to run out there and log laps and then get some good practice in. And then the two behind them, they're fighting for a spot at Homestead. So as they wheel it around 3 and 4, 65 miles an hour, we'll try and do it again as they rack them up. And we'll go back green here on lap 23 of 69, just about a third of the way through this thing tonight from Michigan. Ogo will be the control car here as they get to the restart zone. And there he is on the gas, green flag, lap 23 on the board. And
a lot of bumping back here.
Away from Nova, but Poteet this time gets an advantage because Roger backed off there. And Blake Warren not showing good speed. He's checking up the middle of the group there.
Schwalmberg's already making moves. He passed 2 cars already. He's ready to come back to the front. He's passing a 3rd car. He's on the move. He's not going to sit back and just relax. He wants to see what he's got after having a little bit of damage. Looks like he's really trying to force himself up there now. And then up here at the front, looks like we got a battle going on for 5th place here.
That's Tyler Mallon trying to get around Roger Ray there just behind Cole Baker, who's been able to work his way up to the 4th position there in that 42 machine. Shane Sides and Dylan Schwallenberg, they are side by side as they head down into turn number 1, but Sides maintains the position. He'll hold on to 6th, 7th and 8th and 9th. Guys trying to qualify into Homestead with either by points and some of them by wins. So the front few have settled out single file. Cody Lamas trying to get the spot away from Shane as they'll continue to battle as they head into 3.
Right behind him, you've got Dylan Schwallenberg lurking, and then you've got also Charles Belding. And Belding got a little bit of that earlier on incident. Look at him. He's made a nice recovery with this pack up in the top 10. So that's a good rebound for him. Now, with the damage that we saw with some of these other cars, looks like it's actually taking an effect on because Michael Norman's back there. He's just now going into the corner. So a lot of these guys with a little bit of damage, it seems to be affecting them significantly back here. Natan's back here as well. And like we said, Rick Johnson's already advanced, but Natan's back here. I'm not sure if they're trying to save a little bit or if they actually legitimately have bad enough damage back here.
Man, Cole Baker gave a major league shove into Henry Nova there.
Battle for the lead coming.
And the battle for the lead is on now. Dylan Poteet and Austin Ogo are going to be side by side as they head down into turn number 1. Poteet trying to utilize that outside line. The inside has not been very kind to many drivers today. Ooh, Nova thought about splitting the middle 3 wide, thought better of it, but the Poteet and Ogo machines are still going to be side by side down the back.
It's a big gap back here. What I'm curious about now, while we see the front up here, is there's another battle going on for second and third back here. They're battling side by side several rows deep. What I'm beginning to wonder now that we're looking at this, Carlos, is we have half the people came into pit, right? Half of them stayed out. So I'm wondering how significant this is going to affect them long term, because they get fresh tires, they get more fuel. Oh, and Baker's warping. Oh, thank God. I thought they were going to make contact there. But, yeah, with the being a split strategy here, I'm wondering what's going to happen long term with the tire wear. The fall off along with fuel as well.
Well, you got to think is Poteet's actually going to scrub the wall there on corner exit, as did Shane Sides. That's going to hand the lead over to Henry Nova, and then his quasi-teammate Tyler Mallon will slide to the inside here to try and battle him for the lead. Cody Lamas is sticking his nose up here. He's in the top 5 now, trying to make some moves, but the Tyler Mallon machine, our outside pole sitter, slides up into the lead. New leader, the 18. Nova slides down to the inside here.
Look at this battling up here at the front. I mean, this is just great. They're battling side by side, they're pinching each other, trying to get everything out they can before we get in this long run. Because we saw what happened the first time we got into a long run. You started getting all single file, and then you get what I mean. The moves were starting to settle down. But this pack seems to be informant. There they go.
Nova's around. And the caution will come out third time today. Everybody missed them, so it's just going to be that single car wreck. We got to watch, though, up at the front if anybody else reacted, but I think everyone's able to woe it up now and avoid further trouble. So
yeah, they're all good.
Just the one car.
They're all good up here. Poteet's on the apron back here.
We were just approaching the lap 30 mark there. If we were watching it there, if I remember correctly, it was quite a bit of net code there with the 20s. We'll go back and take a look and see what happened.
I'm curious to know what's going on with Dylan Poteet, because he hit the apron and he fell all the way back.
You see here as they head down into turn 1, that's going to be a little bit of a net code between him and Dylan Poteet, and I think that's why Dylan Poteet is sliding to the back there, taking that EOL himself. So that's why Henry Nova went around there all suddenly, but he's very lucky that no one else got into him, but he's got a ton of left side damage, so that's definitely going to affect the car the rest of the night.
I don't think Poteet got any bad damage, do you?
I don't think he did either, so he's just going to EOL, and he'll take it to the back of the longest line there.
I mean, if you look at how this night's been so far, it seems like a lot of the chasers have had somewhat of an issue here or there, some damage here or there, spinning out, but it seems like they really had their work cut out for them to prove that they want this spot in these last 2 positions, because we've seen Shane go to the back and try to come back to the front. We've seen a few other drivers like Natan in the back coming back to the front, along with Cody with a little bit of damage earlier on. So they're trying to be in good position, and they just keep getting involved in little incidents constantly around the damn track.
They'll all bring it down again. Tyler Mallon will bring it down into pit lane. We'll throw it on the pit lane 1 cam as you'll get to see him come off of pit lane. Actually, that's not as good of an angle as I thought it would. We'll keep it on the 18 of Tyler Mallon here. He'll be the second pit stall after qualifying up there, as Ogo will be following up with him as well. Actually, no, he won't have it. Ogo will be the first guy up here on pit lane. We'll see who wins the race off here. His track position's been key tonight for a lot of drivers. Ogo's been very good on pit lane, so his team has done a really good job tonight in getting him on and off pit road, Jess.
Yeah, I mean, Ogo with all those restarts, he's been basically gunning it, pulling away a little bit. He loses the lead from time to time, but he still seems to be able to be up near the front end. I think he lost a battle off pit road there that time.
Tyler Mallon had just beat him off pit road as Ogo was trying to avoid getting a black flag there by speeding on the exit of pit. He had just beat Cody Lamas off of pit lane. The rest of the order went as follows. Cody Lamas 3rd, Roger Ray 4th, Dylan Schwallenberg 5th, Cole Baker 6th, Shane Side 7th, Dejan Weeks 8th, Nathan Amoito 9th, and Charles Belding rolled off 10th as everybody came down to get service, and Tyler Mallon will be the leader when we get back to green.
According to this, we're going green this time.
They are going to double it up here, and we'll get ready for more green flag action here, almost to the halfway point here. If you're just joining us here on the Flatout Racing Network, my name's Carlos Zimmerman. Alongside me, Jessica Shelton, bringing you the IMRC Cup Series race from Michigan. Race 15 of 16 on the season, the Pure Life 100. Lots of drivers hungry for a spot at Homestead next week. Ricky Johnson and Tyler Mallon are race leader. They have already secured playoff spots from 3rd on back to 10th in points. They're all fighting for a chance to be joining them at Homestead Ford as we're going to go back green here on lap 32 of 69. Mallon's on the gas, green flag. First time we've had a different guy as the control car, and he gets out to a big lead as Roger Ray will battle Ogo for 2nd.
Three wide back there for 4th.
Lamas trying to...
And did you notice that Roger Ray and Tyler Mallon both were at the high side, and Mallon chose the high side over the inside that time, and Ogo's always been taking the bottom. So I was surprised to see what difference that would make, but it didn't seem to make any difference. The leader still got that run. Probably because of the control. But look at this jumble of cars, Carlos.
Around. It's the 74 of Robbie Gilvin.
I have not heard a caution yet.
Caution
now there it is.
Nobody else looks to have wrecked with him, so it's just that single car incident. Tyler Mallon's going to maintain the lead.
Oh, we got a spinner. Dejan and Charles Belding just barely clipped him there.
Everybody scrambles trying to get around them. Looks like
in the grass. Seems like he's going to be okay.
So Tyler Mallon will hold the lead for the time being. Austin Ogo should line up in 2nd. Roger Ray 3rd. Cody Lamas 4th. And 5th will be Dylan Schwallenberg as these guys bring it around. We'll go ahead and take a look back and see what happened to Robbie Gilvin.
So, what do you think here, Carlos?
I see him heading down the back straightaway here. I think you're going to see either the 20 or the 43 get into him here. Gilvin got the wall there, and then just a slight tap from the 20 sent the 74 around there. I don't think that was netcode. He just got into him, though. But Gilvin did get the wall there down the back straightaway heading into 3, so I don't know if the 20 was able to check up in time or if he was even able to at the time. So it's just a simple spin. He's got a little bit of front end damage and rear damage, but should be able to continue no problem. That's the thing we've seen so far. Nobody has parked the car tonight. They are still all racing since the green flag dropped.
And once again, Blake Warren, Henry Nova, Natan, Shane Sides, Baker, Schwallenberg, Cody, Roger Ray, and Austin Ogo, along with Tyler Mallon, they all stayed out, but a few people back there came in. Felipe, Teixeira, you got Michael Norman, Belding. They came in the pit, along with Poteet, Rick Johnson, Dejan as well. I think it's because of the checkup, and they probably wore a little bit of their tires. But I'm wondering if we're going to get a really good long green flag run like we had at the beginning, because it seems like they're getting more antsy now that we're closing on the halfway point of this race. You know, we're on this other side coming to the end. They're really scrambling for position now because we only got a handful of laps left, and we've only got 2 spots up for grabs.
Tyler Mallon's going to be the guy to lead them back to the green flag. When we do get back to green, Austin Ogo will line up 2nd, Roger Ray 3rd, Cody Lamas 4th, Dylan Schwallenberg 5th, Cole Baker 6th, Shane Sines 7th, and Nathan Amoito is actually the first car that won the race off pit road. He'll line up 8th, Henry Nova 9th, and then Blake Warren will round out the top 10. I'm watching the 43 here. You got to watch him on these restarts. He has been a bit slower than about everybody else, so it may stack the field up, unfortunately. But maybe he will get a good restart here, as Tyler Mallon has once again chosen the outside line here for this restart.
Cody Lamas up here in the top areas as well. I think he's going to be starting 4th here, and like we're looking at, we got people wanting to get into the playoffs here. They're pretty much gambling now, because you got people coming in, people staying out, half split strategy. They're going for track position now. Seems like I think that they believe that the wrecks are going to be occurring midfield or to the back, most likely. So they're trying to get their positions accurately placed now ahead of time, so when the wreck happens, it'll be behind them, most likely. Because we've seen on these restarts, they get squirrely, go 3-4 wide, and they're bound for everything they got, Carlos.
You got to think of with a track like Michigan, your track position is essential, and then that goes twofold. Where you are on the racetrack, and then where you are in the running order. Where you are on the racetrack, you got to watch out for the wrecks. So you said mid-pack, so those guys got to be on their toes. In terms of where they are on the track in terms of positioning, you got to think that every point is going to help them in the effort to make, especially for the guys that are trying to run for a shot at the title in Homestead. Tyler Mallon will be on the gas here as they hit the restart zone. Green flag in the air. Cody Lamas, a good jump as well. He'll be side by side with Ogo as they head towards 1.
And there is a big cluster of cars back here bumping each other before we get to turn 1 here. I'm worried about this.
The 41 and the 48 will continue to do battle as Roger slides up a bit and he's around. That's going to cause a big accident down the back.
3, 4, 5 cars involved that I can count right away. Roger Ray, championship contender.
Nathan Amaguito, I think, got slowed up by it. Charles Belding, Felipe Teixeira in the area is Roger Ray. Lot of rear end damage to that 78. No back bumper anymore. Championship contender troubles for the 78.
Cole Baker's back here. I believe it was Cole Baker and I don't know if it was Roger that got side by side, and they got right next to, I think there was a neck coat or a possible warp again, unless it was a chain reaction of the warp that they noticed and they tried to get off of. I couldn't really tell because everything happened so quick, but they're really, really fighting tooth and nail for these track positions, and we saw what just happened with that. I knew that when they were getting like really tight moving up the track in that higher groove, I just felt like something was going to happen, because we've seen them all push up off those corners constant throughout this race so far. And when they push up, we've seen people get a little baby touch of the wall, and then that time when you got someone on your inside, it's going to be a wreck.
The 78 kind of washed up the track and then just started to lose it, and then the 42 was up there to his outside, and that just started everybody else. Goldbaker, a lot of right side damage. I think Teixeira and Pelding just spun it around. Not too much damage. Henry Nova just slowed up. Amaguito spun around, so he'll probably come back down as the tires are probably flat spotted. But just about everybody else was able to avoid the wreck. So really about a 5-6 car wreck, and the worst bit of that goes to Cole Baker and championship contender Roger Ray.
I'm really worried about Roger. I don't... Unless there's a miracle that happens, I hate to jump to conclusions and be saying this early, but I just don't see Roger getting that top position, especially when you got people like Cody Lamas up near the front, and you got half of them coming back in again, and I think most of these cars were involved in the incident, I believe.
Now, remember, Roger Ray was one of those guys that had a chance to mathematically race his way in on points. He was 6 points behind Shane Sides but heading into this race, so he could have made it in on points, but now it's now going to be a race within a race. Unless something happens to Shane Sides, Roger Ray's hopes of getting in on points is going to be up in smoke, because right now, with the way his car is now, I don't think he's going to be able to make it in with a win.
And what's more, you got Schwallenberg. Schwallenberg's still out there, and he's been pretty much trying to gain positions, and you got Schwallenberg and Cody. They both have a shot to win this, and if one of those win, then you got that one spot for points. So what happens to you then? So it's not just, oh, you got a race within the race. It seems like you got a race within the race itself already. 3 different ways. Points, trying to win, trying to be ahead of someone else who might actually win the race. And I just don't know. Roger's got a tall mountain to climb.
He has come back onto the racetrack. He'll more than likely restart tail end after being involved in that wreck, as that was just a racing deal. That car got loose, and he won't have to EOL. But a lot of rear end damage to him. I think he's on the bottom here, the bottom groove here. I don't know if he's going to bring it back down to try and repair it more, but it looks like
we're going to go green.
They're going to go green this time, as Baker is going to catch him here. Tyler Mallon, Cody Lamas, Austin Ogo, Dylan Schwallenberg, and Dejan Weeks as the top 5 when we go green. Tyler Mallon gets it underway. 31 laps to settle it here tonight at Michigan, as we've just completed our 4th caution of the evening. And Mallon gets a good jump, but Cody's going to hang with him here in the 1.
And Schwallenberg's going clear for 3rd up here, so at least at the moment he's clearing for 3rd. I mean, it just seems like the championship contenders, they're starting to move forward. They're really trying to say, hey, I want this, and I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're my teammate. I'm going for it now. Poteet's back up here, too.
Second, as Schwallenberg and Lamas are battling for the spot. Schwallenberg's got a really fast car, so he's going to get right to the back bumper of Mallon here on the corner exit. Lamas washed up a little bit, but hangs on to it. Dejan Weeks up to 4th as Ogo slides back to 5th.
Looks like Schwallenberg was getting a little bit of help there, a little bit of an assist, but, you know, like we were saying earlier, Dylan Poteet, he looked like he was going to be way in the back there, and look where he is now. He's back up here. Schwallenberg's back up here. Cody, who started near the back, I believe. Woo! I mean, look at how tight they're running back here.
Lamas really loose on corner exit of turn number 2 there, as Austin Ogo and Ricky Johnson are battling for the spot there. Johnson, of course, as they're wrecking back there. Robbie Gilvin's around again. I think Blake Warren.
Michael Norman's around back here, too.
Michael Norman has crashed here in turn 4. There's Robbie Gilvin, and it looks like everybody else was able to avoid it. It looks like 2 separate wrecks here, though. A lot of damage to the 74.
I first, when you said that there was a wreck, I went back, and the first car I saw was Michael Norman spinning and just constantly spinning. I don't know what's going on, but Michael's coming, looks like he's coming to a stop. Now he's going to go back green. I'm not sure what he's doing. I think he tried to come down the pit road and he couldn't do it. But you're going to have a couple of different things to look at here on this replay. One, what happened with Michael Norman and Robbie Gilvin.
We'll go quickly and we'll see what happened to the 21 Hot Wheels Ford of Michael Norman here in turns 3 and 4. He was one of the first cars I saw around. Then I saw Gilvin. It looks like they're heading down the back here. They're 4 wide. Coming on the exit of 2 here. You're going to watch them here coming into 1. They come around here. Baker, Ray, Nova, and then Norman, and then Blake Warren in that mix as well. Baker makes contact with him down the back, continuing to make contact with him. Still making contact as they're now 3 wide with Roger. And then Baker just nudged him a bit and got loose. You see the Gilvin car spinning up there. We'll look at that in a moment. But Baker really just bullied Michael Norman down the back straightaway there, and Norman spun it.
Yeah, I mean, when you're saying there are 3 or 4 wide here going into the corner, the first thing that comes to the mind is, okay, well, it's a big wide track, you should be able to go 4 wide, not a problem. But at the same time, we've seen all race long, it pushes and it washes up constantly. So you got to be prepared coming off that corner about what might happen. You know, you're oversteering, trying not to have the back end come out at the same time. You're trying not to push up too much to hit that wall. So I don't know what happened there, but you know, I that's bad for that 21 of Michael Norman, the Hot Wheels machine. Now I wonder what happened with Robbie Gilvin though.
Just saw it here on our screen. He got him and Nathan Amoedo got together there as Amoedo washed up the track in 3 and 4, and then just got up into Gilvin and sent him around. So I'm expecting Amoedo and Baker to probably maybe get EOL penalties unless they consider the Baker and Norman deal a racing deal. But we'll have to see what happens there. That's why we're under our 5th caution of the night here on lap 41 of 69.
A little bit of split strategy playing around again as well. Poteet's now up to 3rd, Dejan's 2nd, and looks like Cody Lamas is going to be the leader on this restart when we go back to green, and it looks like he shows on the high side. And remember, Shane Sides coming back in, Gilvin, Norman back here, Ricky Johnson, Natan. Rick Johnson seemed like he was fine throughout that run. It seemed like he was able to move up pretty well, and he's back here again. So it must be pit strategy for tires and fuel, I would assume, because we've got a little way to go still left in this race.
No, I don't think we're going to be going green this time as we're still waiting for the 22 to catch the field here. But when we do get back green, Cody Lamas is the leader. Dejan Weeks second. 2 guys fighting for a spot at Homestead. Third will be Austin Ogo. Fourth, Dylan Poteet, another driver fighting for a spot. Henry Nova. He's up here. Blake Warren has worked his way up to 6th. Baker has recovered to 7th, as has Roger Ray up to 8th. Schwallenberg 9th, and then Tyler Mallon, who's already locked in. He's 10th as we'll bring it around one more time. When we go green, we'll have about 26 laps to go here tonight.
And we've only had one retiree out of this whole race, and that was David Alvarez. He will be credited with 18th, and we didn't mention him earlier on when he retired. But currently 17 cars all on the lead lap. So still got a nice little pack here. Now, I'm curious to think about this. We got several. If we go green to the end, the question is, what about these guys at the front? Can they make it the rest of the way, or is it really a major tire wear issue? So this is going to be kind of iffy if they go green the rest of the way, or else I just don't know.
See, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think it's going to go green the rest of the way with the way these guys have been racing. They're racing very hard for any position that they can get, and it has just been spawning wreck after wreck. The Dejan Weeks machine slides down the racetrack here. I don't know if he's just trying to maybe preserve the tires or preserve the fuel. Cole Baker swings down there as well, so they're trying to get on a more flatter portion of the racetrack. But regardless, yeah, I don't think it's going to even really matter. These guys are just, I think they're going to keep on wrecking it up from time to time. Maybe a few green flag laps here and there, but it's not going to make fuel strategy or tires a factor.
I'm looking at the chat here. It seems like a little bit of a disagreement on the. It looks like there's a little bit of a disagreement on a few things here on the chat log, but I'm sure they'll have it all settled up.
Shane Sides trying to find his spot back in line as Cole Baker and Nathan Amoito take the end of the longest line. Cody Lamas will get us ready to go back green, lap 44 of 69. And Lamas, I think
they're going to go around one more time.
They're going to go around one more time as they were trying to fix everything up. So we'll go green with 25 laps to go.
Yep. Malin.
Giving a little off tap there, the Shane Sides down the front straightaway there. Those guys just on the fringe of the top 10.
Oh, we're racking them again. See what's going to happen this time. It's been kind of a... first off, I thought we were going to have a crazy beginning, but we settled into a long green flag run. Do you think we're actually going to get back to it? Because you mentioned that you don't think that they're going to calm down. Do you actually think we're going to get back into a long green flag run eventually, or now?
I think the longest they'll go is maybe 5-6 laps, and then there might be more issues. Unless these guys spread out right at the front and in the mid-pack at the start, there's not going to really be an issue with long green flag runs. So that's the thing we have to consider here, is these guys just continue to wheel it around.
Well, I'm looking at the back here. You've got Natan back here. Shane's back here, and then of course you've got Schwallenberg back in 8th currently. Rogers motoring along, but he's stuck in 7th with that damage. I'm just wondering, because we got these people wanting to get into this championship round. There's only 2 spots. I mean, they're going to be fighting tooth and nail. So, if we go green flag now, it's going to be a little bit rougher, more aggressive at the end here as we get ready to go back to the green.
Championship contenders up here. Cody Lamas and Dejan Weeks here on this front row. Dylan Poteet there in 4th. Roger Ray's worked his way back up. He's up in 7th. Dylan Schwallenberg's up in 8th. Shane Sides is in 10th. Mallon's locked in 9th. And then a little further back, Nathan Amoito, and he's going to be trying to fight to get back through the pack here. We'll go green with 25 laps to go. Lamas is going to be on the gas here in the restart zone. And there he goes. A really good restart for him. Weeks, a little bit of more of a sluggish start, but he'll hold on to second, as Poteet didn't even get as good a start as Mallon will dive it 3 wide heading into the corner.
They're going 3 wide in turn 1 up here. Looks like they get a little... Looks like they're giving each other a little bit of room here. But Schwallenberg's going through the middle. He's dicing it. He's wanting to get up there real quickly.
He's got a really good car underneath that number 24 Target Chevrolet Camaro, as Blake Warren is trying to settle into spots there. Poteet giving a little shot to Weeks there into turn 3, as Lamas is clear by about a couple car lengths, but now slides up a little bit.
Battle for 4th back
close.
here.
He's in the fence, and Weeks is around in front of the pack. He
And
saves
Dylan
it.
Poteet
No,
has
Poteet
got a
still
little bit of
saves him
damage
around, but
now.
everybody else will miss him.
I was watching that when that happened. It got a run, washed up, right there, pushing up, got nowhere to go. Barely a little clip. Can't help that.
And out of all that, Dylan Schwallenberg takes the lead.
Well, that was exciting, huh?
Wow. It didn't take long for another wreck to happen, but didn't think it would happen up front. And then the fact that it did happen up front, Deshaun Weeks and Dylan Poteet were really the only two involved as Baker dove it into the grass to avoid it. So again, another lucky break, not having a lot of cars involved. We've only had really one big wreck, and that was right here on the back straightaway. But we'll go ahead and take a look back and see we'll get another look at what happened between the 10 and the 48.
All I'm going to say is, I want to mention one thing, Carlos. Be glad this is a big track instead of a short track.
Oh no, it'd be a lot worse if it was a short track. You saw it right there. The 48 washed up into the fence, and Dejan just could not react. He did a good job saving it. Then Poteet spun him back around there. It was a lucky thing that Dejan didn't really get hit again. So Dejan, a championship contender. Dylan Poteet, a championship contender. They are going to be at the back of the pack this time. Dejan didn't look like he got a whole lot of damage there. So the 10 may be okay, just a flat spot of the tires. He can come down and get 4 fresh new ones, and he'll be able to get back on his way.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit of damage, but not too much to be, like, complaining over, as long as... It seems like this track is more draft reliant, and from what I've been able to see. Schwallenberg's going a little bit higher up. Looks like he might choose the high side on this restart here. Now, what I'm looking at is you got people up here near the front now that are solidifying themselves. You got Malin back up here currently, you know, in the 3rd row here, and you've got Cody Lamas right here. You've got Schwallenberg as well leading this field. It's going to be hard to get up here and beat the 24, 48, and the 18 now that they got up that front. So I don't know. It's going to get really aggressive from here. But like we said, Malin's already advanced. He can just relax.
We'll go green this time by. The 24 will be the leader. Second will be Cody Lamas. Third, Austin Ogo. Fourth, Henry Nova. Fifth, Tyler Malin. Shane Sides will roll off in 6th. Another championship contender. Roger Ray hanging it in there in 7th. Nathan Amoido's worked his way up. He's up to 8th. Felipe Teixeira is in 9th, and then Blake Warren rounds out the top 10 when we get back to green here, as it looks like everyone has caught the field. Poteet and Weeks will have to be at the back, but with the way the trend has been, they should be able to work their way up as we're closing in on 20 laps to go here tonight at Michigan. Hoping to get a bit of a good run here, and Dylan Schwallenberg, he's got one of the best cars out there tonight, and he couldn't have had it at a better time because the championship spots are on the line. Green flag. Schwallenberg gets away by about half a car length, but Cody's hanging in there as they head towards 1.
And they're fanning out back here, 3 wide at the back, side by side going in turn 1.
Austin Ogo sticks it in the middle, 3 wide after giving that push to Lamas. Lamas is going to wash up the track here. Ogo washed up a little bit. They keep it going, though. Schwallenberg puts it in the middle, 3 wide as they head down the back. Ogo will have no help on the inside, so it'll be side by side between Lamas and Schwallenberg down into 3.
Yeah, they're side by side all the way back here, a couple 3 wide with Blake Warren. And there's a wreck back here. Felipe Teixeira's around.
Teixeira and Robbie Gilvin. Race back to the line will be won by Schwallenberg by half a car length.
Robbie Gilvin today just doesn't seem to be able to catch a break.
You see him back here, Felipe Teixeira, who restarted in the top 10. And then, of course, Robbie Gilvin. It has not really been his night tonight as he's got more damage to that number 74 Ford.
Just seems like he just can't catch a break at all in this race, Carlos. It just seems like there's always something, whether he's getting tagged or pushed off or something. 74 just having completely bad luck in this race.
You'll move up here to Felipe Teixeira running just outside the top 10. As they head down the back here. Getting a little push from Charles Belding here, battling Dylan Poteet and Blake Warren. I'm trying to see here where it went wrong on the 44. I think he's going to wash up here, and he's loose, and then Belding got into him there. And then Robbie Gilvin just had nowhere to go.
I'm wanting to see. I don't see any of the major pit road here. It looks like they're staying out here.
That is the case again, as they're going to try and go back green next time by. It'll be 20 laps to go here tonight at Michigan. Dylan Schwallenberg, for the time being, has chosen the bottom lane. Not sure if he's going to stick with that, as the only cars that came down to pit were, I believe, just some mid-pack cars. Belding, who had some damage, Felipe Teixeira, Robbie Gilbin, Michael Norman, Blake Warren are the only ones that came down. So they'll be towards the back of the pack.
Huh, looks like Schwalmer's going to choose the inside this time, and we've seen everyone be choosing the outside. Ogo was the last one to choose the inside, but I think it's because of the control where the line is, where they accelerate. I think that's what Schwalmer thinks, is that he's going to be able to get that huge run clear before we get to turn 1.
Yeah, that he's going to definitely. I've been saying it all night. He's got the best car out there out of anybody, and he's been able to keep the nose of that car clean. So no one's been really able to challenge him here. If we do get back green here, Schwallenberg, Lamas, Malin, Ogo, and then in 5th will be Shane Sides. The rest of the top 10 will be Henry Nova, Nathan Amoito, Ricky Johnson, Dylan Poteet, and Roger Ray. Roger Ray hanging up there in that 10th spot right now, just trying to maybe try and get back up there, even with the damage and everything. So he's definitely still a factor. Schwallenberg here and Lamas battling for a spot as well. As when we go back green, it'll be 19 laps to go here tonight at Michigan in the Pure Life 100, as everybody has caught the field once again, and we'll get ready to go back to Green Flag Racing here on the Flatout Racing Network here in the IMRC Cup Series. Schwallenberg on track right now to try and push for a chance at a spot in the playoffs. Green flag, Shane Side spun the tires on the start, but Malin got a good jump, so he'll be able to get to the back bumper of Schwallenberg as they head down the back, and Lamas will slide to the inside line in 3rd ahead of Ogo. Say Malin's got to be careful there as they head through the corner. I thought he was going to make a move there for the spot lead, and he didn't. So he stayed off of the 24 as they continue to fan out 2-3 wide towards the back. As Poteet's giving a huge shot to Nathan Amoito there into turns 3 and 4. Poteet is really wanting to move right now, and Ogo's really going to slip up there, so that's going to send a few.
They're hitting the wall back here, and there they go.
Did he save it?
Oh! Baker's flipping.
No, they didn't. Felipe Teixeira and Cole Baker was upside down. His night is going to come to an end as he plows into the wall.
I was watching how they were racing. They got all like jam-packed up there, and it seemed like there was 4 or 5 of them up against the wall, riding that wall after being pushed up in the draft. And it just seems like finally one of them got off, and they all checked up behind him, and wow, just chaos ensues.
See Cole Baker there, his night definitely coming to an end after that one there. He was involved here. We'll take a look back and see what happened, as he was a car that was upside down here on the front straightaway. Come off of turn number 4 here, you'll see it. Roger Ray got the wall there and then slid up into Baker there. Not much they could do. Baker upside down. Teixeira almost went up and
Roger
over.
Ray has parked his car.
And that is going to spell the end of the night for Roger Ray, a guy that came into this 5th in the point standing, 6 points out of a spot. He could have raced his way in on points tonight. His night has come to an end, and effectively his shot at making the Homestead Championship 4 has come to an end.
I'm not sure what the reason was. I saw him off of the corner go up against the wall and just come to a halt. So I'm not sure that he just decided not to be out there because he didn't want to cause an issue with the rest of the field, or if it was the penalty system. I'm not really sure.
So Cole Baker and Roger Ray are likely going to be the retirees from this wreck. Felipe Teixeira might be able to continue on with damage.
Baker's still on pit road, so I think he's trying to get his damage repaired if he can. Teixeira's coming back out.
So when they go back green, you're going to have championship contenders in 1st with Dylan Schwallenberg, 3rd with Cody Lamas, 4th Shane Sides, Nathan Amoito 5th, and then 6th Dylan Poteet with Dejan Weeks will be lining up in the 10th spot, and that is it for championship contenders. Everybody else is not eligible for said title from in cases of Nova, Blake Warren, Michael Mormon, Robbie Gilvin, and Charles Belding. So this is going to be very interesting here. The only guys up here at the front that are not championship contenders are guys that are already locked in at Homestead, that being the 18 of Tyler Mallon and the 93 of Ricky Johnson. So these guys are going to be on their toes, maybe try to play spoiler and force it down to points, or one of these guys up here that are trying to battle for a spot and try to run it for the win tonight in the cases of Schwallenberg, Lamas, Poteet, and Amoito.
So, what do you think? We think we're done, or you think we're going to actually be able to do it this time?
I don't know. There's still a good amount of cars out there. A lot can happen in the final 15 laps of this thing. We'll go green with 16 laps to go. Schwallenberg will get into the restart zone here, and he'll send it back. Green flag racing. Oh, he spun the tires a little bit there, as Mallon's going to be dead even with him here at the line. Lamas got up to his bumper as the inside line is
I'm very nervous about going off of turn 2 here. They're going to span out.
Lamas washes up just a little bit here, as that's going to move Amoito to the inside line here, as those guys are going to start slopping back. As Mallon tries to swing it to the outside. Crossover move on the 24 down the back straightaway. Wild move there by Tyler Mallon, as they'll be side by side down into 3. Shane Sides and Poteet settle into 3rd and 4th. Whoa, Mallon washed up the track there and got into the 24.
And here comes
might be in the fence here. He's got to try and save it. Poteet! Look at Dylan Poteet to the inside, trying to make a move. He's got to be careful, and Nova hits the wall, and he's around. Will that be a caution?
Only one car, and it's on a championship contender. I don't hear caution yet.
No caution. Henry Nova was the car around, and they keep it going. Dylan Poteet, out of all that, has taken the lead away from Dylan Schwallenberg. He settles into 2nd. Mallon 3rd. Sides in 4th. The battle on for 5th between Lamas and Johnson is going to actually taper off. They're going to be very close.
There's Teixeira. Teixeira's in the wall.
He's going to get the wall, and Teixeira's flipping down the back.
And then there's another wreck. Michael Norman. Ogo.
Oh, Poteet! They're all right. Up here, they're going to save it. A lot of cars.
Wait, hold on. I think that was Checkers, Carlos.
Oh, was that Checkers?
I'm not sure. I think I just heard him say Checkers.
Okay, I've been thrown off all night long. I apologize for that, folks. It was a 55-lap event, and out of all that, Dylan Poteet picks up the W.
Are we sure, though?
Are we sure? I tend to forget, folks, with NR, they add these laps just in case the event of a green-white checker. That was checkered flag racing there. I wasn't given the right information prior to the finish of this thing. But Dylan Poteet, out of all that, is the winner.
Boy, what about the backlash we're going to receive off of this one, huh?
I don't know, but regardless, we give credit where credit is due for Dylan Poteet. 2nd place tonight, as everyone has actually already gone off track. 2nd place tonight, I believe, was Dylan Schwallenberg, so it's going to come down to points for that final spot. I think Shane Sides, with Roger Ray crashing out, his chances of winning that 4th spot is definitely going to be good for him. But Dylan Poteet burning it down right now and celebrating here on the front stretch.
Well, with Schwallenberg getting 2nd, Shane Sides getting 4th. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Shane Sides has enough to secure the 4th and final spot, and so it's going to be Tyler Mallon, Ricky Johnson, Dylan Poteet, and Shane Sides battling for the championship when they head to Homestead next week. As Dylan Poteet continues to celebrate, we welcome you folks to the FRN post-race wind down here. Dylan Poteet, the race winner here tonight. I apologize for the debacle there. I wasn't given the correct information prior to the race. And, I'm just used to going by the lap counter. But 55 laps was the distance tonight. And Dylan Poteet was the one that took the big advantage of it. Dylan Schwallenberg ended up 2nd. Tyler Mallon in 3rd. I believe that's the correct finishing order.
You want me to go ahead and bring our admin down so we can talk about how he made his way in, most likely with points, and say what we got for the finishing order, at least, for a fact?
We'll go ahead. Yeah, we'll go ahead and bring him in here. Shane Sides, our 4th place finisher, and likely our man who is going to be as our top 3 are actually down here. Shane Sides, 4th place run for you tonight. And I believe that's going to be enough for you to secure a playoff spot. We wanted to talk to you first, and so we can also confirm finishing order. But as now we have that confirmed, man, Shane, you gave it a heck of a ride tonight. You brought it home fourth, and with what happened with Roger Ray, it was all pretty much set for you unless somebody else won.
Yeah, it was. I kind of that last restart. I knew kind of Cody was kind of my main thing to worry about because I knew that I was going to have to maybe not necessarily make sure he didn't win, but I was going to have to make sure I raced him and make sure I didn't keep him out of my sights. Um, but yeah, I'm in the final four, and I'm glad. I mean, this is the easiest, best stretch of the run season I've had. 3 straight second place finishes and a fourth. I mean, my earlier part of the season was nowhere near that consistent. So I wish wish it could have been. I wish I could have had a shot to win there, but I think I was a little bit too passive.
Jason,
We just want to apologize, Shane. We were so carried away into the race itself. We actually thought it was the full 69 laps. We didn't realize it was 55.
Yeah, it's okay.
So I was curious while we were watching, was tire wear a big issue? Because we saw a lot of people pushing up off the corners and hitting the wall.
No, I mean, so like if you take turn 3 wrong, you're gonna slide up. And what happened? If you're asking the incident with Tyler Schwall,
I'm asking for the whole race because it seemed like every single time we looked, someone was like in the middle or on the bottom or even near the top. They were pushing up pretty bad.
yeah, that's just how the nature of the grip. That's just how the grips on the track are. Once you get into the lighter pavement, the grip is lowered a little bit. So it made it a little bit tough to use that line. You had to arc it perfectly to really get it to its full extent, and it was kind of useless once you had tires that were significantly worn.
Well, now that you're in, chances are you're going to be pretty much officially locked in on points here. Are you going to actually try to win the thing, or are you just going to ride and just wait for people to kill themselves first like you normally do?
Well, honestly, I'm going to try to win. I mean, I'm not sure why I wouldn't. I just know I got a lot of really competitive guys around
Well,
me.
I,
And it's
I,
not
I, I
going to be
mean,
very
what I'm
easy.
saying though, Shane, is I've seen you race to the point where you just sit back there at lap 1, you just relax all the way through, and then at the very end, then you do something. Are you actually going to try to go out there and dominate the race? Is what I'm referring to. I should have worded it completely different than what I did. But are you going to actually try to get up there and stay up in the top 5 the whole race, or are you just going to relax and let them take each other out in case that happens, or are you? What's your game plan going in?
My basic game plan is pretty much kind of similar to most of the time I race. I'm gonna do my best to keep up with the fastest guys, which will no doubt be my competitors in the final 4. But I'm not going to seek to lead every single lap because I know that at the end of the day, the most important lap is the white flag. So I don't. Dominating ice would be really fun and enjoyable, but I understand that the long term is a bit more important, apparently, especially in a situation where my goal is to basically beat 3 specific people instead of however how many race next week at a Homestead.
Well, based on real quick about the lights competitors here, are we going to see a lot of them coming over to Homestead? Are you going to have it together, or is it just going to be separate racing, or how's that going to play out next week?
Lights will race Homestead on Thursday as per usual, and couple IMRC Cup will race next Monday as per usual. Nothing really will change. Everything will be running on their normal scheduled times and days.
Alrighty, so that's definitely going to be the case for you going into Homestead. Shane, 4th place tonight. Really good run for you. You're the commissioner of this league. I mean, we don't typically get to bring in our commissioners for interviews, but this was a special case tonight. Anybody want to shout out for your performance tonight as we get ready for Homestead?
I want to give a shout out to Victory Junction and Blake Warren for sponsoring tonight's race, and so that FRN could broadcast our race tonight. I hope we put on a really good show. I'd say that finish was definitely worth the price of admission for those who are watching. So, well, it's not much of a price, but still. But regardless, yeah, I mean, Victory Junction, they do a lot of. They're very popular in the NASCAR community and the sim racing community, and one of our racers has cystic fibrosis, and Victory Junction means a lot to him as he was a former visitor to that camp before. So personally, I'm going to be pledging $20 towards Victory Junction as a gesture towards the sponsorship and just towards it's a good cause in general. So yeah, I'm happy to help with those in need. So
it's a very good cause indeed.
Alrighty, 4th place run for you tonight, Shane Side. Yes, very good cause indeed. We'll see you at Homestead. You're going to be fighting for that championship. Best of luck to you.
thank you very much. I'll see you guys Monday.
Alrighty, let's go ahead and we will bring in our 3rd place finisher tonight, Tyler Mallon. Tyler Mallon, this is Carlos Zimmerman, Jessica Shelton in the FRN booth. You got us?
Yeah, I'm here.
Alrighty, Tyler, man, you were just battling up front pretty much all night long. You started 2nd place, outside pole sitter, and you were just hanging up there, and you were able to pull off a 3rd place finish. You're already locked in, so you didn't really have much to lose tonight. So you could race as hard as you want or race as soft as you wanted to. But 3rd place was the result. What is your mindset going to be now as we get ready for Homestead next week?
Win. That's really all I'm gonna try to do next week. I don't really care about most laps led or anything other, like I usually would care about that, but I just want to win next week.
Well, I want to ask you, Tyler, based on next week being Homestead, I downloaded the track a little earlier, and it says it's Homestead night, but it's not the normal Homestead that we're used to going to. This is a completely different Homestead that I've ever actually ran at, so I really don't know what to expect. Do you have any idea about how you're going to approach Homestead next week, being it's a different track and what we normally don't run?
Probably, I actually don't really. There are some versions of Homestead that I'm really good at, and then some that I just cannot drive at all. So I've got to hope it's one of the ones that I can drive.
Well, I mean, we saw you up at the front, go to the back, come back up to the front, battle really hard with Schwallenberg there for a while. Also noticed that Schwallenberg and you chose the high side on a lot of these restarts. We saw Ogo and choosing the bottom most of the time. I mean, was there something about the high side that you preferred in this race, or was it just basically the control?
I personally just like arcing my corners as much as possible. So the outside allowed me to do that more because I'd get the jump as the leader. I'd be clear of the 2nd place car by turn 1, so I could easily arc the corner.
That first long run you guys had, I think it was 16 laps before that first caution came out. How close were you on making it all the way on fuel? Were you more worried about tire wear based on pushing up, or what? Because I heard Shane discussing that you go in the corner just wrong, it just pushes you up, and really you just can't overdrive it.
Well, earlier in the race, I was really more focused on saving my tires than saving fuel, because I figured we were going to get at least one caution, so it wasn't going to be a one-stop race and then just done from there. But yeah, if you pushed it, if you entered too high in the corner, it would just shove you up into the wall. If you saw me on the last lap, I think it was, when I entered turn 1 with the lead, and then I was too busy blocking Shane to really worry about Poti, and Poti got right by me because I just couldn't make the corner. And then,
well, I mean, hey,
second.
at least you have another championship opportunity, you know? I mean, it seems like most of the times when you join a league and you have like a huge good run like you do and you go in the playoffs, seems like you're always the one of the favorites for this championship, and looks like you're in that same spot again.
Yeah, hoping I can get it done.
Alrighty, before we let you go this evening, Tyler, anybody want to give a shout out to?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Alrighty then. Well,
Yeah.
we'll let you get on your way for this evening. Tyler Mallon, 3rd place finish. You're going to be chomping at the bit for a title run next week. Good run tonight, bud.
Thanks.
Alrighty, we'll bring up our second place finisher, Dylan Schwallenberg. Man, you were arguably, I've been saying throughout the broadcast, the fastest car on the track tonight. You held it up there up front for a while, and then right there at the end, it just kind of slipped away. What was your mindset now that you're not going to be able to run for a title next week?
Well, first of all, thank you for the compliment. I really appreciate that. It felt like I was the fastest out there today. bided my time a lot throughout the race, and then did a strategy that I pulled last year that I won the race with, which is pit really late and get 4 freshies. It worked until the 18 just sent it 3 and 4 and ruined my momentum and let the 17 get both of us. So he kind of screwed both of us out of a win. And then I charged for Poteet at the end, and it just wasn't enough. That was a crazy finish. So
Jess. Looks like we may be having some technical difficulties. Yeah, you had yeah, like I said, arguably the fastest car all night long, and yeah, like you said, the momentum there with Malin really that sucked you back, and that was able to enable Poti to be able to go for the win. But now you go to Homestead, you're not really running for a title, but you still going to try and run hard and maybe try to get a win to just save face from today.
I'll try to, because it'll be redemption for last year for the win I should have had. And the same guy who I'd like to think lost me the race today lost me that championship. So I'm not gonna race him any harder than he raced me. I'll say that much. But yeah, I'm just gonna go hard if I'm there and give him my all like I always do every week. There's always a trophy to go grab, and that's all I'm running for right now. Just haven't been able to show up, and that's why I'm not in that Final Four right now. I'd like to believe I'd be in it if I showed up for the whole entire playoffs. So it's a bummer, but I'm still going to try to have as much fun as I normally do every week. So.
No, absolutely, man. You've again, you showed the speed, and hopefully at Homestead you'll be able to pick up a win. Before I let you go this evening, anybody you wanted to shout out?
Shout out Dylan Poteet and the whole rest of the Final Four. You guys did an absolutely amazing job, and I loved racing with you guys all season. And let's kick this season out with a bang next week, and let's have a fun time like we always do. So, yeah.
Alrighty, Dylan Schwallenberg, second place run tonight in the 24 Target Chevy. Won't be in the top 4 of the playoffs, but is hoping to get some redemption from last year and then even from this week to go pick up a victory in Homestead. Good run tonight, bud, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you so much.
I got Ricky Johnson in here now. He's one of our playoff 4 as we head into Homestead. Man, I'm not quite exactly sure where you finished tonight, but it obviously didn't matter as you already
finished
playoff. Okay, there you go. Ricky, man, this is it. Homestead coming up, top 4, and you're going to be running for a title. What's your mindset?
Well, we're going to go find out and see, because I really don't know yet. I'm sure we're going to be, in for a bunch of surprises, and, we're just going to have to play it by ear, So, we're just going to go into it with a calm mindset and just see what happens from there, because everything could change on lap 2.
Jesse, you have anything for him?
Well, I saw that you stayed at the back the whole time, Richard. You just stayed way back there. I was really kind of shocked. And then I thought, well, maybe he's saving fuel. Maybe he's just relaxing back there. Because, I mean, I know you were already in, but I know based on the past that you don't just sit there and you roll over. You basically try to go up there and try to get a top 5 and win the races. So I'm sitting there wondering, what are you doing? What in the world are you thinking staying back there? And I'm thinking, is he saving fuel? So what was the plan the whole race back there?
Just trying to chill out and make everyone expect the unexpected.
So are you looking forward to the Homestead version next week?
I don't even know what it is yet, so I don't know.
Okay, well, it is Homestead Night. I think it's BB.
I guess we'll see. I haven't really ran any laps on it yet. Like I said, I'm just trying to keep fresh, and a few days ago I'll start practice and get ready for it, and we'll give them what we got.
Alrighty, Ricky, top 10 run for you tonight. Before we let you go this evening, and we'll get ready to talk to our race winner. Anybody want to give a shout out to?
Just thanks everyone for watching, and whoever supports me next week. I hope we, go out there and give everything we have. We've just been taking it easy, trying not to mess up anyone else. But next week, all bets are off, and we're gonna go for it. So I'll do what I can for everyone out there.
Alrighty, Ricky Johnson, a top 10 run for you tonight, and he's one of your championship 4 as we head to Homestead. And now we get to talk to our race winner, the 17, Dylan Potee. Dylan, man, that was a heck of a run to the finish, and you were able to pick up a win and ultimately secure your spot in the championship 4 when we had the Homestead. Man, how does it feel?
I still don't know how to feel. I think that was the wildest finish I think I've ever been a part of, and I've been in a couple of crazy ones to say the least. But honestly, the last race, or even maybe the one before that, I didn't even think I even had a chance. I kind of was looking at just, I was with Shane, and I just knew I needed to stay within close range of him, and I would be good. But it kind of presented itself, and then all of a sudden, I found myself fourth in a 4-wide battle for the lead, and then come out of 4 in fourth and going to 1 the next turn, and somehow I'm in first, and I don't even know how. I really have no clue how that happened, but it was the first race I have Auto Trader on the car, which was pretty cool. Glad to get that car win, and this track kind of bit me in the dust almost last year, and it almost cost me a chance to get to Homestead, and I guess it owed me one, but it was definitely an up and down race for sure. Just got into Henry and apologized for that. It was a tough deal about halfway through the race, and then we got in behind Cody, me and Dejan wrecked, and back to the back again about 3 or 4 times. So, yeah, and Dylan, like I said, we had a great battle there for the win. He apologized for the contact, but like I said, it was hard racing. I'm not mad, and whatever happened there, and I hope it was a crazy finish for everybody that was watching, because that was a crazy last restart, to say the least.
I still can't believe you did what I saw you do.
I don't either. I'm still surprised. Like, I don't know how it happened.
You got behind the 4 wide, the 3 to 4 wide that was going on or starting to present itself at the front. We're sitting there watching someone. I'm not sure exactly who, but someone was trying to make their move up in the middle, and all of a sudden goes way to the bottom. And I'm thinking, oh boy, it's going to be really aggressive. All of a sudden, here comes the 17 of Dylan Potee, goes way down on the apron, and your back end started kicking out like you were about to wreck it trying to pass. You went all the way on the apron trying to chase that. I'm surprised. I've raced with you. I've been around you. I've seen you make some really questionable, aggressive moves, but I don't think I've ever seen you do something like that.
Yeah, I don't think I have either. No, I think what you're referring to, that middle deal, is I think me and Shane had the same idea to go toward the middle, and I think I caught him off guard, and he shot him back up the track, and then I went down. I don't know if that kind of faked Tyler out or not, but it kind of opened the gates, I guess you could say. The seas kind of parted in front of me, and I found myself beside him going into 1, and I honestly thought I overdrove 1 and overdrove 3, and I thought I gave the race away to Dylan, and yeah, I just
don't feel bad. Carlos and I were sitting there. We weren't aware how many laps to go. We thought it was the full distance, so we're thinking, "Oh my God, they're wrecking everyone."
Oh, yeah. Like I said, it's crazy. Like, it's crazy how this what season difference makes at this track, because I couldn't have anything go right last time, and I was stressed out until basically the last lap and barely got in. And to win this race, it means a lot, honestly. I don't know, the big picture still is next week, and this crowd is going to be tough. Like I said, a race with Ricky, Shane, and Tyler all season, and I know all 3 of them are capable of winning the championship easily. So it's going to be a dogfight for sure next week.
Well,
I don't expect anything less.
Dylan, I'm trying to think about this here. A lot of us in the community are wrestling fans, right?
Right.
Aren't you battling in the icebreakers too?
I mean, yeah.
Well, do we get to call you Dilly Two Belts?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but definitely next week's going to be wild, though. Like I said, I battled Shane over there in Icebreakers last season, and he got around me toward the end of that race and took that championship from me. So I know me and him are going to have a great battle, and I've raced Ricky forever. And I think this is the first time we're actually battling for a championship against each other, so that's going to be wild. And me and Tyler have had a lot of crazy races over time the last couple of seasons. Like, we've been 1-2 so much. I don't expect anything less between us. So I mean, I'm looking forward to the challenge. It's going to be really fun. I'm looking forward to Homestead. Like I said, it's been a pretty good track for me in the past, and just going to give them all next week and try to see if I can get that second championship.
I brought in our Savior and our I guess our Lord Seth Cullen here. Seth, Poteet won the race. He's going to the championship round next week. I just feel like you should interview and get a couple of questions out of him that you really need to know, because I know how you are.
Well, I actually watched the finish of that race, and I gotta ask Dylan. I know the setup that they're going to be running. I've run it before. I know the track type that they're going to be running. I've raced their season finales before, and it's going to be really close quarter racing, similar to what went on here tonight. I mean, you've got some really hefty competition going into that one. I mean, what is the strategy? Do you maybe kind of ride around the early portions, size up your competition, and then wait to pounce, or do you try and just go out there, set the dominating pace?
I mean, I think we're all going to be up at the front. That's how it was last season. I mean, we all ran 1 through 4 for a good portion of the race. I mean, you're going to have to stay up there because, like I said, there could be green flag racing, pit stops, and you have to stay in close quarters with your opponents that you're racing for the championship. And I know for a fact those 3 are definitely going to be up front. They all know how to get around that track really well, and they're really competitive and they're really tough to race with. So they're going to be hard to beat. So I'm going to have to stay with them. I don't think there's no easing down on the brakes or the gas pedal at all. I think you have to go all out next week. That's how it was last season. I don't think it's going to be any different this season. Because, like I say, if you let up at all, those guys are going to scoot away, and you have to keep them in sight. I mean, you never know what could happen. We came down to the last restart last season. We were all right there together battling for it. So, like I said, I think track position is going to be so key for that race, and just mistakes free. We don't want any mistakes. I made a lot of them tonight and somehow found my way back up front. I've been told I have a golden horseshoe this season, and I thought, honestly, that about a lot of races. And like I said, it kind of went south the last few weeks, in my opinion, since I feel like I've had a lot of bad races as of late. But like I said, hopefully this is a shot in the arm I needed to get me kind of back in that feeling I was early in the season, where I felt like I was up there where I needed to be, and I just think I got my edge back a little bit. But I'm looking forward to the challenge for sure next week.
Seth, I have a proposition for you. If Poteet wins next week and he ends up winning the Icebreakers Championship as well over there, can we grab like a picture of Becky Lynch holding both championships and put Poteet's face on there and call him Billy Two Belts?
Oh Lord, probably. If you guys don't mind, I'll just ask him one more question here too, because I usually ask this to whatever league it
Go for
is,
it.
especially going into a finale or into a playoff system. You talked about how you guys are on an even keel, but to have momentum, not only starting into the playoffs, but also heading into a season finale. You talked about the kind of up and down season you've been having. Does this give you the confidence you need going into Homestead, as opposed to if maybe you would finish this race, let's say, in 4th or 5th place?
I mean, it would have had a different tone for sure. You kind of have a more spring in your step when you're racing and stuff. You just knowing that you just want to race. And like you said, I can't say, because I feel like I'm sound like a hypocrite. I shouldn't say I haven't had a bad or haven't had a good season, because I really haven't. But just in where I've been going as of late, I was starting to trend downward, and it was at the wrong time. But like I said, I led a little bit, and I thought for a while I was going to be about a 5th to like 8th place car, and that's how I felt the last few races, and it's not where I need to be. And then, but yeah, just the momentum, it helps a lot. It's a confidence booster too, because like I said, these last like 3 races have been awful for me. I don't know what it is about the playoffs here in IMRC, but both seasons I've ran here now, I've had a stressful time when the playoffs started. I don't know if it's just the combinations of tracks we've been to, and just me struggling, because like it's like I hit a switch and just fell off for a couple weeks. And but yeah, this definitely helps a lot. I think it really does play a factor going into next week. Just knowing that I was able to do something like this today, I think I can do that again next week, and I'm ready for the challenge. And I think it's going to be a really good battle for the championship next season, or I should say next week. But I'm excited about it.
I'm also curious about one thing, Seth and Dylan. Like I mentioned to a couple of other people I discussed it with earlier. I downloaded the track Homestead Night BB. I don't think I've ever ran that version, and if I do, I have no recollection of that. Do you have any idea how that track's going to drive? Either one of you?
Well, I know that Jess, you took part in that All-Star race that they had last season. It's actually very similar to that. It kind of is, in a way, a multi-groove homestead track. I think we're going to see mostly people fighting for the middle line. Some that are able to get that outside line working will. Inside line's a little bit sketchy, especially on new tires, but it actually does become a passing lane as the tires warm up. So, depending on if the race goes into a long green flag run, you're definitely going to see all three lanes come into play. But I think in the early stages, you're going to see everyone migrating middle to high side.
What about you, Dylan? Have you been on this track before?
I honestly don't remember if I have or not. I've ran so many races, I don't know. I can't really say for sure if I have or not, but I mean, all you can do is go in there and practice all you can. So I'm just, like I said, I'm up for the challenge and I'm looking forward to it. Homestead, like I said, it's always a fun track. I love the racing there. So, like I said, just all you can do is really just try to adapt as quickly as you can and just hope for the best and keep your foot down on it.
And just pray that Shelly, Seth, and myself aren't in the same race, right?
No.
And it's our throwback, sorry.
Alrighty, Dylan, a heck of a run for you tonight, first place run, and definitely you're going to carry this momentum into Homestead. Before we let you head out for the evening and celebrate your win, you want to give a shout out to anybody?
Just thanks to everybody who's watching the race and everything tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was probably a wild race for sure, at least at the end. Like I said, thanks to everybody that raced. Like I said, it's always fun every week to race with these guys, and I can't thank them enough. Like I said, welcoming me in a couple of seasons ago just to trial out, and whenever decided to come running here full time, like I said, they welcomed me with open arms, and I can always be appreciative of that. And I love a lot of the guys that race here, and like I said, I always have fun time here, and it's always fun to try to get wins and be in position to do stuff like this, and enjoy getting on this computer and racing this every Monday. So this thanks to the league and Shane, everybody, and Will putting this all together, and you guys for broadcasting this. It's always cool when we do stuff like this and look back at this down the road and remember some of these races when they happen, like what transpired. So, and like I said, then sponsors, obviously. I just wanted to thank them real quick. Auto Trader, Menards, which will be on the car next week. Trying to go 2 for 2 in that scheme. It's been my lucky scheme. Castrol, Miller Lite, and all the others. So, but yeah, everybody Team SB, Eric let me be on the team, Shane, Will, Michael being on the team. Yeah, it's crazy. It's been a good time, and just glad that everything's going well right now for everybody. And everybody stay safe during these crazy times. It's a weird time we're living in right now, and everybody just stay safe and let's get through this.
Alrighty, Dylan Poteet, a number 1 victory tonight for you. You head into Homestead with a lot of momentum, and we're going to see if you're going to be able to pull out a championship when you head to Homestead next week. Best of luck to you, and congratulations once again on a great run tonight.
Thanks, everybody.
And remember, we're going to be broadcasting the race next week for FRN, and it'll be about the same time as it was tonight, I'm supposedly assuming. About 8:20, we'll be going green, and that'll be 8:20 Eastern. So I hope that you're joining me, Carlos, next week as a broadcast commentator in the lead on the team.
Yes, absolutely. Next week, Homestead, that will be determining the champion of the season 8 of the IMRC Cup Series. Tyler Mallon, Ricky Johnson, Dylan Poteet, and Shane Sides all battling for that illustrious championship. 2 minutes to the top of the hour. Jess, final thoughts from Michigan tonight?
I'm just glad it wasn't the short track. That's all I'm saying.
No, absolutely. That was in a wild race. I made that big hiccup with thinking that we were going the full 69 laps, but I was wrong. But Dylan Poteet, regardless, they all put on a great show tonight, and it was just enough to pick up the victory tonight for Poteet, and it was a lot of fun to watch. So thank you, Jess, for joining me. Thanks to Seth Cole for helping us get all this set up. Also, our good friend Matthew Rodriguez. Hope he's enjoying his night off, spending time with family. Godspeed to him, and hope he's having a good time here. I want to thank everybody for coming out to watch this race tonight. If you have not yet subscribed to the Flatout Racing Network, be sure to hit that red subscribe button. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. And we will see you next week when we head to Homestead. Coming up for the next event for Flatout Racing Network that we have scheduled at the moment. We'll have a few more throughout the week, but the Chris Cup Series, they'll be live at Talladega this coming Saturday night at 7 Eastern, 6 Central. You'll catch me and Logan Breakey on the call for that one. And then, as Jess said, we'll be back here next Monday, 7:20 Central, 8:20 Eastern, for the final race of the season in the IMRC Cup Series, as Ricky Johnson, Tyler Mallon, Dylan Poteet, and Shane Sides all get ready to battle for a championship down in Miami, Florida. So once again, for Jessica Shelton, my name is Carlos Zimmerman, and to echo Poteet's words, everybody stay safe out there and have a great rest of your evening. Good night from Brooklyn, Michigan.